Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time with Dorina. I'm so thankful that you're able to join me tonight. And we are from Women of Wisdom. We are a nonprofit organization here to empower teen girls and women with practical wisdom and confidence. We are here to bridge that generational gap with the younger and the older generation because we really need each other. We need to pass down vital knowledge to one another and to the next generation. And you know what? It used to be that, in yesteryears that was common, but nowadays is uncommon. And so once two parents had to start, working to afford to take care of their family, we gave that responsibility over to the school system, and that's not their job. So that's why we're here, Women of Wisdom, to fill that gap, okay? Because we need each other and we need to get rid of the myth that says that the older don't want to hear the younger and the younger don't want to listen to the older. Mm-mm. We need to get rid of that myth. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. That lie was put there to destroy us. Okay. So, you know what? We are not going to let that happen. Right. Okay. So, tonight, I usually share with you my tea that I'm having, and I'm actually doing sweet tea. Gold Peak is my favorite, one of my favorite sweet teas when it in the summertime. So that's what I'm having today in my favorite cup. This is my favorite cup. This was given to me from my daughter-in-law and her sister, and so yes, tea time. I hope that you have your beverages as well, whatever you're drinking, and come and join us and fill your cup up with wisdom tonight. You know me, I kind of get excited about some of these subjects that we're talking about. Last week we talked about emotional awareness. And I was thinking, wow, okay, what am I going to talk about this week? And it was like frustrating trying to figure it out. And it was like, hey, wait, we need to deal with that emotion right there, frustration. So that is what our topic is going to be about tonight. Before we get to that, I want to show you this because I want you to be aware of what's happening. Okay, now is the time to register for the Perfect You workshop. This Friday is the last day. Well, actually, it's Thursday. Thursday is the last day to get in on the early bird, the $20 early bird ticket. And so, we're having a light breakfast, lunch is provided. Well, we're going to have plenty of giveaways and things like that. And you are not going to want to miss out on this. So, starting July 1st, we go back to our regular price, $25. And then the 8th of August, the week before the event, will be the $30 door prize, which you can still register, but it still would be the $30 door prize. Okay, so you know what? Get your ticket because you are not going to want to miss this. I'm telling you, each year just gets better and better. And, you're developing relationships with one another, making connections, learning how to collaborate and deal with situations. Oh my goodness, you are going to enjoy yourself. Okay, so go ahead and register at our website, which is womenofwisdominc.org, and $10 for our younger ladies, 12 and 19, because we want to make this affordable as much as possible. So if you have more than two teen girls and you really want them to come, just email me or contact me through the website and we will make it happen. Okay? All right. Okay. So, like I said, our topic tonight is frustration. Oh my goodness, a feeling we all deal with. Who does not get frustrated? Okay. Now, if you say, I don't get frustrated, liar, liar, pants on fire. Because you know what? We all get frustrated. And so, just trying to come up with this, it was frustrating. And, just dealing with, feelings of being frustrated. That's what I've been dealing with. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to talk about this. Okay. So let me share with you what Stephen Jobs said. He's the co founder of Apple. He said this. He said, if you really look closely, most overnight success took a long time. Okay. Now, think about that and ponder, meditate on those thoughts. Because you know what? We are gaining wisdom tonight and we are going to learn how to deal with frustration because you know what? Frustration is normal. If you get frustrated, that's normal. That is not, you know, abnormal. It's normal. And we just need to, know how to deal with our frustrations properly and recognize the wisdom that, we can gain out of knowing how to control our emotions and our feelings when we get like that, right? Okay, so here, frustration is a feeling of dissatisfaction, often led by anxiety or depression, resulting from unfulfilled needs, wants, or unresolved problems. Okay, so just looking at that definition, you can see that there's a resolution right there. uh, Unfulfilled needs and wants and unresolved problems. And so there's sometimes we just need to resolve, uh, the problems that we dealing with, and don't sweep them up under the carpet. Just because you can't see it does not mean that it went away. It's so funny because when my kids were little, and we have like a laundry chute, and so we had this one son, oh my goodness, he would throw everything down the laundry chute. And so sometimes, we find the brush, we find my keys. I'm looking for my keys. Finally, it got to the place where we just said, okay, we better look down the laundry chute because he was throwing all of our stuff down the laundry chute, thinking that it's disappearing. You know what I mean? And we can't throw stuff down the laundry chute and have unresolved issues. It's better that we deal with situations, learn how to deal with them properly so that we can rid ourselves from, frustration. Okay. Okay. So let's see. What else did I want to share with you about that? Oh yeah, I got a little I want to share this with you. Okay. So let's look at this. And as you can see, I have 1 through 4 because we're going to address these issues about frustration. So I have 4 different types of frustrations, and over the course of next week or a couple of weeks, we're going to touch on these issues because these are some serious things that we need to know how to gain the wisdom out of them and know how to deal with them properly. Would you not agree with that? Okay, so number one is personal frustration. And personal frustration comes a lot of times when we are over expecting. Uh, some of us have high expectations for ourselves, and sometimes we have people in our lives that have high expectations of us. And it can be frustrating when you are not fulfilling, that, their expectations, right? And so our conception becomes the reason for internal and external frustrations. Okay, frustration is one of the major cause of our lack of self-esteem and our lack, what I'm going to call it, butterfly confidence. So I was on Spotlight Good News with Tim, uh um let's see, 6:60 a.m. And that's where I got that from, because we was talking about women of wisdom. And one of our main characters that we build is confidence, because you need confidence to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. You have to believe that you can do, you know what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, you got to believe in your abilities and your skills in order for you to accomplish anything. Okay, so sometimes when it comes to our frustration, or when it comes to our lack of self-esteem and our lack of butterfly confidence, it's because of our expectations. We're expecting too much. We become frustrated, and when we become frustrated, then we lose. Well, actually, it just magnifies our lack of self-esteem. It magnifies our lack of butterfly confidence. And then we become more frustrated because now we feel like we can accomplish the thing that we sent out to accomplish. When things don't happen the way we want them to, they don't happen as fast as we want them to, or even the way that we want them to. And then we get all frustrated. But a lot of times, time is working, you know, for our good, and we don't even realize it. Do you know that sometimes the things that we're trying to accomplish in life uh, gives us those challenges, so that when we do accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, we have what's the word that I'm looking for? The integrity to be able to be humble in that position, or in that uh, level of life. And so, yeah, so we become frustrated sometimes. Let's see. I have somebody here. Oh, it's Mass. Hi, sweetie. She said, "Boy, I need this." You know what? That's funny, because, it's like I'm talking to myself. And because we all deal with frustration, and uh, frustration happens also when we have feelings of uncertainty, or we're insecure. These feelings can come from a sense of disappointment uh, to fulfill needs and wants. Okay. So sometimes we get frustrated because of the feelings of uncertainty. We don't know. whether this is going to work. We don't know how it's going to turn out, or even in relationships, we don't know how this relationship is going to end or how it's going to start, or we're feeling insecure of our own selves, and then we become frustrated and disappointed because we feel that we have not fulfilled a need or a want. Sometimes, you know what, we get frustrated because now I'm talking to somebody that's either watching or you going to be watching. You know, sometimes we get frustrated because we think that time has passed us by and we've lost time, and so now we're too old, you know, to fulfill our dream or our passion. But let me tell you, you are in a great position because there's a lot of things that you have experienced in life, you've learned in life, and now this is the time to put that knowledge, that experience into practice with increased wisdom. You can still do it. If you are breathing, you can still do it. You can put your hands to something, your mind to something, or you know what? You can transfer your knowledge over to somebody else, and you are still giving them something that they can work with. And they're gaining from your knowledge. And so you're still helping somebody. And that's important. That's what we're here for. We're here to help somebody. She says, yes, I feel like I feel like that sometimes, like I said, taking too long. And yeah, we get frustrated over things that we think that are taking too long. But let's look back again at what Stephen Jobs said. There's something flying around here. He said, if you really look closely, most overnight success took a long time. And you know what? I've heard this, you know, usually when you are a shooting star, when you uh, succeed real fast, usually it don't last and you come down hard because you have to have the character that it takes to hold the level or position that you are growing into. And if you grow into it uh, or try to grow into it too fast, then you're skipping steps, and when you skip steps, then you're skipping knowledge, you're skipping wisdom, you're skipping the things that make you the type of person that is able to handle success. Okay. And that can be even more frustrating when we're trying to uh, climb the ladder of success and we're not doing it correctly. You know what I mean? Because it's better that you treat people the way you want to be treated and not just use people for your benefit. That will come back in your face and it will cause frustration, let me tell you, okay? So you don't want to live life like that. Use wisdom and do things correctly the first time. And even if you messed up the first time, hey, learn from that and use wisdom the next time. Okay. So don't just give up, because even when you give up, you become frustrated, because frustration comes when you feel unfulfilled and you have a need, a desire, a want, and it has not been met yet. Give it time, because if you don't give up, it won't give up on you. Okay, that's a good word, right? Let's take a tea break. Tea time. Okay, when our expectation doesn't work out the way we want, frustration knocks at our door with an unpleasant sound, let me tell you. Okay, so that made me think of one time when me and my husband we first got our cell phones, and he was trying out all these different alarms, you know, you know what I mean, to wake up in the morning and stuff. And one morning he had this alarm that, oh my goodness, when it went off, it irked me. I thought I was like, what? Who wakes up like this? This is crazy. You wake up and you annoyed. I mean, it was like, you want to hit somebody in the face type of alarm because it was so annoying. I mean, it vexed my soul. I told him, I said, look, you cannot use that alarm ever again. Because for one thing, I'm a light sleeper. And so that thing, went, "Wah, wah." I'm like, "Ooh, ooh, you don't want to deal with the sister that early in the morning with an alarm like that." So he's a wise man. He changed that alarm system. Yes. And let me put this back up here so you can see this. Let's get into let's just kind of touch on it because we won't have time, of course, to go over all four of the frustrations that we're going to talk about over the course of the next couple of weeks. But one of them is the first one is personal frustration. Personal frustration. You know, Personal frustration deals with it starts um, with us expecting way too much. Either we're expecting too much from ourselves or we're expecting too much from other people. And we're constantly getting disappointed because things are not turning out the way we expected. And oh my goodness, you know what? When I first got married, I had some expectations that was just not real. Okay. Because for one thing, most of you know my story. I was raised by my dad. And, you know, I expected, my husband to be like my dad, and there were certain things that my dad did not allow his girls to do. Just like, I mean, for an example, just mopping the floor. That was something that my dad did not allow us to mop the floor. He made that a man's job. So, when I got married, I was expecting my husband to mop the floor, and he was like, no. And so, that caused a lot of frustration. So, I mean, we had to learn how to share that job. But, I was like, I don't do that. But that's just a small example of the things that we expect from our spouses. And I've learned that sometimes it's just better to not have those expectations. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying that you should lower your standards. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have any, because you should have some expectations in a relationship. You should expect to be treated right. You should be expected to be treated with respect. At the same time, you still have to be the type of person that gives respect as well, because we reap what we sow, right? So, you know, personal frustration can definitely be created when we expect too much from ourselves and from other people. Or let's say it like this: we expect things to happen a certain way, or we expect things to happen before when we want it to. And it doesn't always work like that. And so let's talk about how do we handle that? Well, I've learned to just kind of step back and evaluate the situation and just, okay, if I take myself out of this situation and I look at it for what it is and evaluate it, I mean, this takes some control. It takes maturity, and uh, this is something that I had to grow into. And you have to learn how to practice these things because practice brings growth. And so, without practicing, no growth. And so, practice, uh, like we said last week, being aware of your emotions. Oh, that is so important that you stay. Why are you frustrated? What's making you frustrated? You need to ask yourself those questions, because I'm doing what I'm telling you to do. I'm not giving you advice that I don't take myself. And so this week I was like, okay, now how am I feeling? And why am I feeling this way? And where did I get this feeling from? And, search it out. And I did. And I was like, oh, okay, wait, I know what's happening here, And when you know, that's when you can deal with it. If you don't know, you can't deal with that. You have to know. And how you know is be aware of your feelings, be aware of the frustration. How did you become frustrated? Who were you around when you received that? And what is the circumstance and the situations? And when you are aware of those things, it will help you unwind, or what's the word that I'm looking for? Unravel the strings that are binding you in frustration. Isn't that good? So start practicing on those things to help you deal with frustration the correct way, because frustration will come. It's not something that we can ignore, it's a part of life. And the most important thing is learning how to deal with it properly and not allowing it to control us, but us learning how to control it. All right. How about that for Tuesday tea time tonight? Okay. So how you deal with it matters. Practice at dealing with frustration in a positive way, improving our self esteem and making wise decisions begin with our own selves. Okay. So start working on your own self. You can't really help somebody else if if you're not willing to help yourself and change your own self. Allow yourselves to be changed by you know, all the situations and circumstances around you, learn how to use them in a positive way and apply wisdom, but apply that knowledge that you're gaining out of that situation and use it for your benefit through wisdom, right? Okay. All right. So we're going to, as you look at the lower screen, this is giving you information about the Perfect You workshop. at 5030 North 72nd Street at the Cross Training Center. You can pre-register online at the website below. It's going to be excuse me, Saturday, August 13th from 9. That's supposed to be 9 to 3. I made a mistake on that. Okay. And we'll have a light breakfast and a lunch. So you are not going to want to miss that. And so check out our information at our website, and it'll give you more information about our speakers and our business highlight, because we like to highlight business women owners and help them be um, well, help them have well, how do I say that? A more awareness in the community, bring more awareness of what they're doing in the community. And so we're excited about that. And we're gonna have a couple of people, yay, that's gonna be able to win to get their nails done, and so we're excited about that. And so you're not going to want to miss this workshop. It's going to be an awesome time with us women and teen girls. You know somebody that's a teen girl or a woman. We all need wisdom. Invite them to the workshop. Do do them good, buy them a ticket and bring them. So that we can share our wisdom one with another. We'll have breakouts and games. And so I'm excited because it just been getting better and better every year. Okay. And we really do need each other. And so I thank you tonight for joining me. Thank you for all those that will watch the replay. Remember, I love you. I'm out, and always walk in wisdom. How about that? All right. Good night. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got a question here. Let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be online. It is going to be in person. So we're doing in person. And that's at 5030 North 72nd Street. Thanks for asking. She said, "Oh, I wish I could be would be online." You know what? I Somebody asked me about that, and that's probably something that we may do in the future, to have it online, so that other people can join. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. Okay. Well, have a good night. And I wish you were able to attend as well. Thank you.